If you're a product manager, you have either conducted a user research interview or you have participated as a user in one of these research interviews. If you have either conducted a research or been a participant in one of these researches, you might actually understand the challenges that come with user research interviews. Of course, the main one is to coordinate the research interview itself, and then you have to go ahead and conduct the research. Now, if you're the research conductor, you are going to ask the same questions to different people. So different people may have different experiences. However, as a researcher, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And one of the limitations you will have is your energy is going to deplete at the end of all these research interviews. But imagine if you're a UX researcher and that is your job, you are going to be in meetings day in and day out. And part of product management is also about doing this research interviews. And if you do not have a UX research team in a small company, you're the one doing those research interviews. So recently I came across this new product called Chikka AI. The name is slightly odd to pronounce, Chikka AI. So I just went and checked out what the product is about. And on their landing page, they had this trial option to try an interview with something that was preset by them. So I tried one of those interviews and I posted my impressions on LinkedIn. And I wanted to understand if people will be comfortable doing research interviews with AI. And I started to wonder, will people actually participate in an interview if they know that it is conducted by an AI? So in this video, I want to get into this Chikka AI product and try it out myself. So let's get started. I'm on their website, and as you can see, they have a headline, Get User Insights and Stories with AI Voice Interviewer. So AI Voice Interviewer seems to be the keywords here. And basically, you can go ahead and create your own interview that will be conducted by an AI voice. And so in this case, they have given an example here. You can talk to Eva, our voice agent, and feel how she warmly engages with real humans and ask great questions. So what you're trying to do is replace a UX researcher and deploy this Ava and conduct interviews through Ava. And so that's the idea here. Now, in a way, you can also see how that could be beneficial for someone who takes interviews on a regular basis. It could actually get quite tiring and exhausting if you have to do this day in and day out versus deploying an Ava. But I believe it's going to be challenging, and I want to see how this really works. So let's go ahead and check what would happen if I talk to Ava on this particular topic. So they have given an example here. A coffee shop explores what drives customers to visit more frequently and buy more. And you can listen to a real interview or you can talk to Ava on this topic. So let's go ahead and try this out. And so here on this website, I'm invited and I click on this arrow.
Hi there. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm Ava, and I'll be guiding our conversation. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts and stories. Today, we'll be talking about your experiences with coffee shops and what draws you to them. This interview will take a few minutes of your time. Feel free to relax, and let's have a great conversation. Can we get started?
Sure.
Great. So, can you talk about one of your favorite coffee shops? What attracts you most when you first arrive at the coffee shop?
Well, one of my favorite coffee shops is the one next to my home. And the thing that attracts me there is good coffee and good ambience. It's quite cozy to sit there.
That sounds wonderful. Having a cozy ambiance really makes a difference. Now, when it comes to the coffee, or maybe the related bakery items, what types do you prefer?
Well, when it comes to coffee, I go for cappuccino or Americano depending on the mood that day. And for the bakery items, I usually go for banana cake, walnut cake, any sort of cake that is available. So that would be my choice, or even a croissant, maybe something like that.
Nice selection. There's something so comforting about enjoying a cappuccino or Americano with a slice of cake or a croissant. How often do you visit this coffee shop? And what keeps you coming back regularly?
I don't visit that often. Sometimes it's just once a month or once in 2 months. And the thing that keeps or the reason I keep going back is basically it's close to my house. And if there are friends coming over, I might visit that. Or if I just need some solo time, yeah, I sometimes work as well.
Got it. It's nice that it's such a versatile spot for you, whether it's to hang out with friends or get some solo work done. Now, thinking about the coffee shop, Do you have any suggestions on what could be improved to make you purchase more frequently?
Well, I think I don't see any, yeah, I don't really have any feedback on improvements. Generally, they're all just good. So I don't know if I have anything valuable to add.
That's a great sign that you're already satisfied with their service and offerings. I'm glad to hear that. Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experiences. This has been very valuable. Goodbye.
All right, so you just saw me talking to an AI interviewer. Now, of course, I can tell that it is an AI voice. There is definitely an aspect which gives you that indication that this is not a real human being. The second thing I noticed about this particular AI voice interviewer is that when you speak something to it, they take the context quite well. So when I mentioned banana cake and croissant to this during this interview, it actually repeated it back to me, showing the listening skills. Typically, this is what you want in a real interview to happen. The thing that did not happen, which is very good, is that it did not just move from question to question. And that's very important because if you do that, then it doesn't sound very human like. And I have tried a tool before in the past where whatever I said was just discarded and ignored, and it just moved on to the next question. So that is not fun at all. And it's not contextualizing my feedback that I bring in live interview like that. The other thing that I noticed is the voice is a bit too high energetic, and this is something that I outlined in my LinkedIn post as well. The sound is too happy and too joyful. You typically don't want any human interviewer to be always that joyful, so it needs to match the energy of the other person as well, and that is something going to be very challenging. So I want to try their website where I can create an interview. This was one of their examples, and let's see how that works. So I am in their dashboard here. This is the logged in experience, and if you click on this create, it's right on their dashboard, and directly you can see there's an option to create, launch, and then get insights. And here they have got some use cases that have already been displayed. Now I must say, from a design point of view, this is probably 5 on 10 with all the new minimalistic designs, beautiful designs that you're seeing on the websites out there. This does not fall there, but it's functionally making sense. So I think the approach of launching something that works rather than working on the aesthetics, I think, is a really good approach. So they have given here pick use cases, get inspired. Of course, I'm taking a use case which is user research and product management, and they have an option to choose different ways that you want to generate this interview. So I have selected onboarding flow here, and as I select onboarding flow, I can input my prompt, which is I want to understand experience of first time user of my fitness tracker app. Now fitness tracker app is a made up app. So I'll click on create outline, and so this is what happens at the bottom here. This is my interview name, fitness tracker app, and they have given an outline here. So I have a main topic, so initial impressions and expectations, and what were you hoping to achieve or experience when you first downloaded the fitness tracker app. And I can choose whether I want these questions to be asked or not. If you notice in the demo that I just did for this coffee example, they did not have follow-up questions based on what you answered. So there was still a structure. What they did though is displayed the listening skills. So it looks like you can generate an outline like this. You can ask Ava to go ahead and ask these questions to the users. And you can add another subtopic if you like. For now, I would just stick to whatever is outlined here. And they have main topics, onboarding process, core feature exploration. Okay. And so this is my outline. And then I would say save interview outline. I'm prompted to sign in at this point. So let's go ahead and do that. So interestingly enough, their Google sign in did not work. So I had to sign in using my email ID and password. So create a new account basically. Now here's the thing. What I noticed here is the outline that I created before the sign up is now gone. So I have a completely different outline here. It did not retain my history pre-sign up. What it should have done is prompted me to sign up before creating an outline. So now it feels like all the work that I did in the past before sign up is all gone. So it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so let's go ahead and create a new interview outline. And I'm going to select the same thing. It's retaining it here, but it's not saving it properly. So let's save this now. And this is ready to chat. Now you can test this Ava. So let's go ahead and check it.
Hi there. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm Ava, and I'll be guiding our conversation. I'm really excited to hear your thoughts and stories. We'll be talking about your initial impressions, the onboarding process, and your experience with the fitness tracker app. This interview will take a few minutes of your time. Feel free to relax, and let's have a great conversation. Can we get started?
Sure, let's go.
Great. So, what were you hoping to achieve or experience when you first downloaded the fitness tracker app?
Well, at first I just wanted to keep track of my workouts. So I note down all the weights over there, and then I note down sometimes my cardio, my strength training. So that's all I wanted to do.
Got it. Keeping track of your workouts, like noting down weights and tracking cardio and strength training. What was your very first impression of the app after opening it for the first time? Try to describe your feelings.
Well, at first it looked like very easy to use, and it seemed to have everything that I needed. All right, so you get the idea. I think it is interesting that it is able to generate an entire interview, also deploy that AI voice interviewer and launch a study. I'm not sure what launch a study would do. Let's click on launch study. And it becomes an interview link, and then probably you can just share it with everyone. So in that sense, I think functionally it is fine. It works okay. And then all my interview outlines will be here. I noticed one thing on the left hand side, they call it synthesis. I don't know if it's meant to be synthesis, but yeah, it's either that or something is off here. But they have something called as synthesis. And then we have studies, and then interview outlines, and then user center. So let's talk about this AI voice interviewer and what I think about it. Firstly, I was impressed that it was actually able to repeat what I was saying back to me. So showing the listening skills was very interesting to know. Second thing, I actually found the voice to be super high energetic, like something that you don't experience in a daily conversation or something that you don't experience in a research interview either. The other person tries to match your energy. So if you are very energetic, you will find your research interviewer also to be matching that high energy, but mostly you will not get it throughout the interview. Another thing I noticed about this product is the product design. I feel that it is still quite rudimentary and crude. They might be going for function over the UI, but still I feel you need to have that little bit of jazz in your product in order to make it big. And lastly, AI voice interviewer is a very new thing. We do not know how the response will be to such tools. At this point, I feel it is wait and watch kind of situation. You may see a growth in the usage of these products, but you might also see a decline or a complete aversion to these kind of tools, simply because we humans want to talk to another human being. And if we notice that we are talking to a machine, it becomes a little difficult. But I do feel that is just for short term. As the tools become better and better, and the voice improves and becomes more and more human-like, I think that initial friction that we face now is not going to be there. So it's only a matter of time until we actually start talking to the machines or these AI voice interviewers, and we won't be able to tell a difference between a human being and this AI voice. So Chikka AI was an interesting tool. I don't know if you would ever try for an AI voice interview. So if you have already tried something like that, just let me know in the comments. And if you have explored other tools similar to Chikka AI, do let me know in the comments. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.